BassResinator here, and I have two amethyst shards that I want to make molds out of. And I thought about this and I thought, I want to put them face down. But in order, and I don't want to make the whole thing. I just want to get basically this section of it. The same thing on this one. But in order for me to do that, I need to get a little bit of silicone, which I've already mixed up a bunch right there. 500 mils. And put some on here. And then I have some plugs that I had left over from other pours of silicone, and I'm going to put those down there at the bottom, and that's going to set on there, because otherwise we'll have this will sink all the way down, and these shards will be sticking out instead of being able to cast them. So that's no good. So what I'm going to do is get this started here. And then pour some of this in to where we should be able to get this down on it. That's the plan, Sam. Whoops, sorry. Okay, and I'm going to save the rest of this until I get some over here on this one. This way I'll have a good mold of these crystals, and I'll be able to replicate these things. Or I can make it look like a different type of wow, where do I want to go with that? I can make it yellow, make it citrine. Oh, gotta do this first. What am I doing? Put that there. Put the plug down. Messy business, this. Okay, so there we go. Boom, boom, boom. And in a few hours, I'll have some really cool molds, and I'll be able to make them into something tomorrow, because with these molds, it is preferable to pour them and then let them sit for a day so that they can fully mature or cure, and then be able to pour in it and not have to have any problems about it wearing out too quickly. Okay, now I got a mess. The little bit of silicone that was left in there, I will leave it in there, and I'll have another plug to use sometime. Cool. Okay, we'll see ya. Okay, these are cured. I got this one out of the container that I had it in. Now we got to get this stone out of the rest of the mold. And there's that plug I put on the bottom to keep the stone from going all the way down. So once I get it out, then I'll be able to duplicate this sometime tomorrow, hopefully. There we go. Dun 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 dun. Major Druzy sphere. That's so cool. Okay, now this one, I need to undo a couple of these to get this outside framework open. And then once I get that, then I can go down . Now I used resin 15A silicone for this. This bottom part right here is contact paper for cupboards. I just cut off a little bit and put the double-sided tape down, and sticks fine, keeps a good seal, so we don't get leakage going. I don't know if any of you have ever messed with making molds. Boy, if you get a leak, there's not much to stop it. And once it starts going, silicone likes to go. I think because this is I already have this on a piece of cardboard here. I had a little piece of cardboard. I think I'm just going to leave this block of silicone on top of this paper, because I don't want it sticking on the mat that I have down there. Okay, this one's coming out a little easier. This one had, see how it's at an angle and it was down in there like that, so the silicone grabbed a hold and didn't want to let it out. If I would have pulled it this way, of course I didn't know which way to pull it, then I would have been able to get it out a little easier. But this one seems to be coming rather easily. I say that, oh. Yeah. So, now to try and recreate these tomorrow. I'll let those finish doing their thing, put all this stuff away, and we'll see ya. Bye. BassResinator here. Well, it's the next morning, so I'm ready to try this out. Now that blue on the bottom is kind of distracting. It's just the color of those plugs that I put on the bottom. Now, when I pull those out, I also have a new plug from the bottom of the mixing container, which is kind of cool. Do you see how we've got purple here and then white here, or white crystallish? What I'm going to use is from the Let's Resin die. I'm going to use violet. I think that color is going to match really well. But notice, it only goes a certain distance down, and then it goes to this whitish stuff. So, and on both of them. So I'm going to put, mix up very little 1 hour cure, just so I can get it to the next one quickly, and try and get this all done today. Promise epoxy 1 hour cure, just if I didn't say that, there you go now. But I'm going to put this resin dye in, and then for the whitish crystallish stuff, I'm going to use the white resin dye from in here mixed with a little bit of this diamond dust. What do you think about that, huh? That looks kind of cool. And then once I get a pretty thick layer of that diamond dust, then I'm going to go with a asphalt magic to try and recreate this darker grayish color. But anyway, let me mix up that 1 hour and I'll get after this. Okay, I mixed up 40 milliliters and I added the violet, and I want to make sure I get all of the crystal tops. If I did not mix up enough of this purple, boy, that doesn't seem like it's going to be dark enough. We'll see. I can always do another one if I need to. Or I can come back in with some alcohol ink poured over the top. I think that's what I'll do, because that's not looking dark enough for me. So I'll go grab some alcohol ink real quick. I'll go grab the alcohol ink while I let that sit and drip in there. Be right back. Okay, I just popped a few bubbles, and I went and got this dark magenta out of the 48 pack, and I think it's going to add a depth to that purple underneath. Now there's some bubbles hanging on that mold. Crystal, like those crystals on the asphalt amethyst clusters were not perfectly smooth. So it left areas where the bubbles can attach. So let me see if I can. Maybe that'll help release them. I'm thinking I've already gotten to I have not messed around at all. In fact, I took maybe a minute to go and to get my alcohol inks. You know that dark magenta is magenta. Let me see if I can. There are so many colors in here in this set. And I know I've got a violet or dark violet somewhere in here. To find it, by the time I find it, these things are going to be cured already. Dark indigo. And of course I haven't opened it yet. So I have this little tool. And I better use this when I take it off because it'll blow up in my face. Shake it up a touch. Oh, there we go. That's going to add the darkness that I need to bring out the amethyst color. Now there's different colors of amethyst. There's actually a very light purple. There's even a blue amethyst, which to me doesn't sound like amethyst. I always associate amethyst with a purple color. You know, that's actually acting like, see how that's already cured. Okay, well, looks like I'm gonna start mixing up my next set of stuff here. Okay, let me start mixing up the white. That's crazy how fast that cures. Okay, I mixed in an ounce and a half of part B. I mixed in the white resin dye from, that's resin, and came out with that color. So now, boy, this stuff is, just opening this, I got sparkles all over the place. But I want it to look kind of sparkly in there because the real things definitely have sparkle in them. So now, by just adding this colorant, this stuff sets up really fast. This resin, oh, that's pretty, huh? Okay, once I mix at part A in there, get ready. Okay, I'll mix that up and turn it on when I'm pouring because I don't have time. Look, I'm covered with this stuff. I started mixing this and I thought, what is going on? So I'm going to pour it and I'm going to let you see it. Apparently I used some silicone in this cup. Mixed it up the other day. And it came loose off the bottom. And I thought, what is that? This can't be curing that fast. So there's the silicone. What a mess. Okay, pour the rest of the resin in this side. Wow. What a crazy thing. I thought, what is going on? Let me, I'm just going to chunk this cup. Yeah, that was a mess. I was going to pull the silicone out so I could have like a plug, but, well, I'll clean up, and by the time I come back, this will probably be ready for the last layer. Okay, see ya. Okay, I probably mixed up way too much of it this time, but I used asphalt magic to create this. I mean, it's really pretty. Yeah, I mixed up too much. I didn't know how much this one was going to hold. But the good thing is, after I'm done with these, then I'll be able to weigh them and know exactly how much each one takes. Look at that! That is so cool the way that pulls in. Man, that's a pretty color. Okay, I'll come back to you when it's time to demold. They feel cured. I hope they are. Let's try. See what has transpired. That's the side that's got to come out last, because this is the side dipping down, so it'll be easier to grab a hold of. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh man, look at that. Well, this white, really, that combination of the white resin dye with that diamond dust, man. Not too sold on the crystals. I mean, it's not bad, but there's the original. Okay, let's look at this one then. I really like that side. That here's the original. Well, not bad. I'll try it again using a little darker the first time instead of but you see, I went overboard with that. Anyway, it's not bad. Not an exact duplicate, but close. And there was an air bubble down in there. Oh no, that's in the mold itself too. Oh, it was a deeper pocket. I guess I didn't get the silicone all the way down in there. Well, bummer. Same thing on this one right here in the middle. I know how I can fix that. Anyway, subscribers, if you are here, I'm thanking you. So if you are not here, what does that even mean? If you are a subscriber, let's just back it up. If you're a subscriber, thank you so very much for subscribing. If you are not and you would like to be, that's where I was wanting to go with this. Go down to the bottom and push subscribe. And while you're there, click the little bell icon. That will signify anytime I do something new. And then you'll be able to check it out. Yeah. This channel does have memberships as well. If you want to support the channel that way, just click the button that says join. Yeah, cool. I'll take pictures of these molds, and maybe I'll do another round of epoxy on them and come up with a new thing for you. So I'll have the originals plus the first rendition,
or iteration, and then the second. So we'll do it that way. How's that sound? Thank you for being here. We'll see you.